Nev is at the University of Pittsburgh School of Social Work, and Nev is going to be talking to us about philosophy, research, domestic and international service work, and lived experience activism, an unlikely career path. Nev.
Thanks, Niall, and it is great to be here. I thought I would just start by briefly describing my fairly kind of unorthodox and irregular personal kind of career path. After this is in the U.S. context, after I graduated from high school, I moved directly to northern Nepal to Chotara and worked as a kind of an NGO worker across two organizations, one doing kind of cross disability outreach and support work in ultra rural mountainous parts of northern Nepal, and then supporting children in public and government schools. So kids from very kind of socioeconomically disadvantaged backgrounds. Um, the This was during the sort of the period of the Nepali Civil War, so it was extremely kind of tumultuous and politically unstable there, and I eventually ended up moving from Nepal to Japan and training in a Zen monastery for a number of years before returning to the US, doing the, in a sense, more traditional undergraduate thing. I studied cross-cultural philosophy, Japanese intensively, and then philosophy of psychiatry as well, and then returned to Japan for a postgraduate Mambusho fellowship, and then came back to the US again to do a PhD in philosophy, at which point I finally developed and was diagnosed with schizophrenia, was actually terminated from my program, went through a very dark period of my life, and then really kind of reoriented to psychology, got a PhD in psychology, and then did a postdoc in medical anthropology. First faculty position was interdisciplinary, and now I'm in a school of social work. So a very kind of multi-layered path. Along the way, I frequently encountered people who jumped to a number of assumptions about kind of doing these kind of very different areas of my life, of my background, not fitting together in their minds. Or looking like I lacked focus. I was told a number of times, people expressed concern about me when I was a graduate student, about me ever getting a position because of this background. And so I think the core message I wanted to convey to you all is actually the incredible value that a diversity of life experiences brings, and that includes really cross-cultural experiences, experiences of different kinds and types of work. So really very, very different to be doing kind of on the ground cross-disability outreach, let's say in northern Nepal, to working in a residential mental health setting in the US, to kind of engaging in services research. But I think they are not unrelated. They deepen our sensitivity to real world power dynamics, challenges, contingencies, to the, kind of very far reaching ways in which culture and geopolitical context, impact how we think, how we approach things, what's relevant and what's not. They challenge us. The more diversity of experiences we have as an individual, the more we're challenged to think more deeply and to question, I think, assumptions that we might otherwise bring to the table, unacknowledged assumptions, right, that just come from our own background, if we have not been kind of challenged to think differently, to experience other things, to adopt other cultural and disciplinary and experiential perspectives. And then I think that although there is a lot of kind of rhetorical kind of lip service paid to the importance of interdisciplinarity, I do often interdisciplinarity and also kind of diverse experiences and lived experience in the sense of kind of race, culture, um, uh, disadvantage taking the form of, kind of incarceration or periods of incarceration in the past, etc. So we pay a lot of lip service to that, but I think we don't always actually really invest in students and applicants and candidates for job positions of a variety of kinds who are bringing these really very diverse and different backgrounds to the table, and whose CV or resume may not look on paper like the sort of cookie cutter, went straight from secondary school to a, kind of elite university, got a lot of academic training in a very kind of concentrated and focused way, get very productivity right in terms of grants and applications. So I think like kind of really reorienting the field to embracing that the most kind of generative disruption and transformative change is going to come when we really can kind of look past kind of cookie cutter success and embrace people who are really kind of bringing difference, which I think aligns very much with the way that Niall introduced this panel. And I think that's probably enough for me, but I look forward to the discussion when we kind of circle back around.